Alrighty then.
All right. Hello. Welcome to another Toonkind FPS. My name is Mira, and I will be playing Sammy Jax. And I'm here with my friend.
There, I would be Morskiish, but you're free to call me Morsky. And I shall be playing as Hugh, who is my wizard. So I'm ready to roll. How are you doing?
I'm ready to roll too. I'm doing fantastic. I am super excited to let these two meet. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to
Well
take the
then,
Do you want me to take the DM reins, or do you have a little bit of something planned?
I have a little bit of something.
All right.
So
Take it away.
pretty much. So it's another lovely day in Toontown. The birds are singing, the flowers are growing, and all of that fun stuff. And we're gonna cut over to Hugh, who's done a grocery round, and he's walking back home. He's got a lot of bags. Actually, he might have too many bags. He overestimated a bit how much he could carry. So I'm going to do the first roll of the game, and that is a strength save.
Oh boy, here we go.
And that is a strength save. Oh my goodness, a 9. This will go wonderfully. That is a strength save at disadvantage. That's a 4! Hugh's doing wonderfully. He is walking along slowly. He hasn't dropped anything yet. Oh, wait, no, he's tripped. He's tripped, and in fact, all the bags have fallen over him. He's trapped.
Oh no, poor you. I'm just gonna say, by the rule of the narrative, that Sammy has happened to be on the same side of the street, just walking along, doing his wandering habits, and notices and is immediately going, "Oh no!" And he hurries over and kind of unearths Hugh from the by all the bags, and he's just like, "Are you okay?"
Yes. Oh, thank you for that. Sorry. I, uh, I was just doing a grocery run. I guess I overestimated how much I could take, and he's just very flustered at this point, and uh,
Sammy
he.
takes up all the bags and is just holding them all very effortlessly.
Oh my goodness!
And like he just looks
For all of
down.
you,
He
for
looks
all of you wondering, that is a 21.
a dirty 21, and like he basically just like they're all basically in one arm, and he really easily just reaches down and picks Hugh up and sets him on his feet, and he's just like kind of looks him over once to make sure that he's not all bumped and bruised and stuff. And I'm actually going to roll a perception real quick.
Oh man.
14. What does that give me? Because he's looking to make sure that Hugh didn't like take any fall damage or anything because he tripped.
Well, like the good news is, like he didn't take any fall damage. He's just a little roughed up. Though he'll notice that he just seems maybe a bit tired. Can't really tell why though.
Hmm. Sammy kind of narrows his eyes at this small tune and is just like he narrows his white eyes and is just like, my healer senses are tingling, but I don't have any definite proof. And then he just kind of like, his eyes crinkle at you, Hugh, and he's just like, why don't I help you take these back to wherever you need to go? You obviously need some help.
Hugh, like as Sammy squints at you, Hugh gets a little bit extra flustered and like raises his hands up, and his hair starts floofing up a bit in that ghibli way.
It's okay. It's okay. I'd like to help if you will let me. This is a lot of groceries.
Um, it okay. If you're sure, then thank you. I'm going back to my apartment now. Uh, I was ill recently, so I had to just buy more food again. Now that I'm not ill, so uh, yeah. Thank you though. And Hugh's going to like lead towards his apartment then.
Sammy follows.
So okay, for fun, how about I roll a d20 to see how lost they get,
Oh
or
no.
well, for not a
Sur-
d20, but
survival.
survival. How much? Well, okay, a +2 could be worse.
Nice.
17. That goes pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
It's going much better than the last time you had to go out. And he nicely manages to navigate through a couple of streets, and they're firmly on the way to Hugh's apartment. And while they're walking, he's just like he's going to ask. Like I guess I was out doing groceries. What were you doing before you decided to help me? Thanks again, by the way.
Sammy's shading shifts to a nice kind of cheerful yellow, and he just kind of his white eyes crinkle at you, and he's just like, "Oh, I wander, so I my feet take me
Yeah.
where I need to go."
Well, they led you across me, so I guess I can only be thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm glad I found you because you looked like you needed some help. Like, no offense.
And he's going to rub the back of his head and look away sheepishly.
It's all right needing help.
I guess so. It's just a bit embarrassing that this happened so soon. I figured I'd be able to get more things done since recovering.
Hmm. You mentioned you were sick earlier. What were you sick of, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I just simply got a cold.
The cold.
Like, yeah, it just ended up being a bit tricky. It happened during a period where I had to send a letter to, though. I actually got helped by another Toon.
Oh, that's nice of
Yeah,
him.
he's really nice actually. We're friends now. I was hoping to see him again soon. So I wanted to get this grocery done as soon as possible so I can get things sorted out and I could go say hi to him again.
Yeah,
Uh and also, do you want to try rolling insight?
yes, I do want to roll insight. 12.
Okay, so you can tell that Hugh is genuinely cheerful at the thought of meeting this very mysterious Aratoon.
Sammy's expression, even though it's half covered by a mask, softens. He's just like, your friend sounds like a nice friend. I'm glad that you have him.
Yeah, he is. And also, can I just say, man, Sammy, sweetie, you're really good.
Sammy kind of like, as he's walking, he kind of disappears into his head for a little bit, like just thinking, and then he blinks. His shading goes briefly sky blue, then resettles back into his yellow shading, and then goes, "Oh, sorry, I just realized I'm Sammy. I'm really bad at small
Forgot as
talk."
well. Yeah, yeah, good point. Well, my name's Hugh. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you, Hugh. I'm really glad I could help out.
Yeah, ever since I came to Toontown, seems like I've been just getting so much help out of the blue. Thank you.
Oh, you're new to town too? That's cool.
Yeah, I am. Have you ever heard of Yeast? That's the town I come from.
I'm gonna roll history to see if Sammy has.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's a straight D20. Okay. 14. What does
For
that give him?
That's not too bad, actually. Sammy, you've probably heard it while traveling around. And you know that it's a fair distance from Toontown, actually.
Sammy just kind of whistles under his breath and is just like, "Wow, that's a ways." It takes me back to when I first arrived here.
So, you know that, and you know that it's far enough that, like, traveling in between the places, you can't really do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long ways.
So,
And Hugh is like going to look over and said, "Ah, yeah, you've heard of it, right?" Um,
yeah, here and there. I don't know a lot, but I've heard of it at least.
yeah, that's fair.
I
It's you're honestly doing better than most people I know. Most everyone I've met here hasn't heard of it, so
was
and
it
he's going to get like just a little bit thoughtful and wistful, but that passes quickly.
uh gonna roll insight again. 6. Come on, Sammy. At
Yeah, with
least it
that
wasn't a
you
1.
don't. Oh, like you don't can't really tell much more than that. Like Hugh doesn't seem especially sad. He just mostly seems wistful. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only thing you can tell.
Yeah. Sammy just kind of nods and is just like, "What brings you to Toontown?"
Oh, well, it was honestly it was a chance for me to just be outside of the house a bit, get a chance to see things for myself, and there's something I need to learn. There's someone I want to help back home, so Toontown seems like a good place where I could try and find out ways to do so. And roll me insight.
All right, let's see if this will go any better. 19.
19. Well then, you see this, and Hugh is definitely saying the truth, but you realize it's a lot deeper than that, and it seems fairly serious even. That Hugh is actually kind of troubled by the reason he's troubled about the fact that the person is trying to help needs help at all. And that's what I'm giving you.
Okay, I am very eyes emoji over that as the player. But Sammy he kind of nods and is just, well, I know a little bit of, tiny bit of magic, mainly healing spells, but if if I find anything, I'd like to help you find whatever you're looking for to help your person.
Hugh is going to like blink in surprise at Sammy, and immediately he looks grateful. Really? Like, even if it's only a little bit, some kind of healing magic would help a lot. It's definitely a good start. It's a better start than what I have by now. And actually, he has now like just slightly starry eyes at this.
Sammy just kind of he rubs the back of his head, his hooded head, and is just like, I'm only a I'm just barely learning how to use my magic that my patron gave me. It's been an interesting process.
You've started looking into magic recently, and Hugh is immediately interested. Cause guess what? This kid's a nerd, and he's really good at magic. It, it's I don't know much about healing myself. I'm a wizard, you see, but I'd like to think I'm good at magic. You've been nice enough to help me with all this. If you want help, I can give you some, or I can at least try and help point you in the right direction.
Sammy softens and he's just like, thanks. My magic is both learned and a bit instinctual, I guess. It's weird. I don't really understand it myself. I wasn't born with magic, and I never really expected to get magic until I met Prismatone, and she helped me. Roll insight for me real quick.
Yeah, and can I try rolling history to see whether Hugh recognizes Prisma?
Yes.
Okay, first. Wait. Okay, so first insight, that's a +2. That's a 3. Oh, that's a nat 1.
That's a nat 1.
Rip Hugh.
Rip Hugh.
What does he get with that?
Basically, his voice goes very soft for a moment, but you don't really know why. Besides what he said.
Okay. Alrighty, and that is a 17. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I'm pretty sure Hugh came across Prismatone's name in a really old book.
that sounds about right, because he's been looking through plenty of old books. And I'd say his eyes kind of lighten up as he hears that. And, oh wait, Prismatone, she's she's one of the bigger deities around Einquill, right? You met her?
Yeah, actually, you know who she is?
Well, I do, and here Hugh is going to get a bit bashful again. I really like reading, and I've gone through a lot of books. One time, I managed to find an old book about the deities of Einquill. So I spent a couple hours, actually a couple days, going through it. So
I I'm really glad that you know about her. There's not a lot of people who do now. And I want you to roll insight for me real quick.
yeah, I hope this goes better than the last time.
Come on, you. Yeah,
A 14. What?
All right. Hugh, as you look up at this tall Toon, you see that he looks like he wants to cry from just how and like his shading is completely yellow. It's almost highlighter yellow. And like if his eyes weren't white, they would be shimmering from all of the tears in his eyes as he kind of like holds his hand over his masked mouth. He is very moved by the fact that even if it was just through reading an old book, you know about Prismatone.
Hugh is going to go wide-eyed, wide-eyed in that, and I, sorry, please don't cry.
No, sorry.
And he's going to be all flustered.
No, just I'm really happy because no one's really known about her like, oftentimes I'll mention her and everybody just gives me a blank look. Because everybody's forgotten her for 30 years.
Oh, well, I can say that there are still books of her. Um, back back home, there's a good library, so that's why that book was there. But I do know her, and I know at least a couple other people who should know her too. I want you to roll insight at that.
Alright. Oh,
That's a
Sammy.
2.
No, that's a nat 1.
Oh no!
Oh, Sammy.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Oh, yeah. The only thing you can tell from that is that yeah, there are at least a couple other people he knows. That's that.
Sammy nods and is just like his eyes are crinkling at the edges as he like presumably grins at you.
Going to smile back, and I mean, I may not be her follower or anything, but if there is a place that you find important for her, I can like try leaving some flowers.
She would really appreciate that. Thank you, Hugh. I can show you a little later after we get your groceries all settled.
Oh yeah, good idea. And I'd say that's around the time they hit his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like so like they go up the stairs. Well, door is unlocked, of course. They go up the stairs. The groceries are dropped down near the fridge, and roll me perception.
Alright. Perception.
Let's see what.
Sammy got
That's
a
a
10.
10. Okay, so you can't tell that much about Hugh's apartment. After all, you're like in the first room. That
Mm-hmm.
is the kitchen. But like if you look through a door, you notice like it's still kind of sparse, but there are a lot of books there. Mostly books, actually.
Sammy just kind of nods. That seems to track for what he's briefly learned about this tune.
He just happens to like reading a whole lot, so sue him.
Hugh is valid. Books are great.
They are. I'm like, if I didn't read so much on the internet, I'd have even more books in my house.
Oh,
We
mood.
already have like a full book. We already have like a full bookcase here.
Oh, that's a mood. That's a mood.
Nice.
Sammy,
He's gone.
Sammy just kind of
You
like
go first.
he turns to Hugh and is just like, do you want help unpacking all of your food?
He's going to like. He's going to look thoughtful a bit, and he goes, "Yeah, sure. And would you like a drink or something? I have some tea here and some hot chocolate. Would you like either of those?"
1 second. Just Sammy opens his mouth and then his stomach growls. And his shading goes a slight pink.
Going to blink at that and okay, I can get you a drink and I can get you something to eat too. It's only fair. You helped me bring all this food home.
No,
I,
it's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. You don't
Hugh
have to.
is like. I just want to say Hugh at that is just like press X to doubt.
Why don't you roll me insight?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Hugh is press X to doubt. Sammy, I hope you know. Well, that's a 13. And Sammy, I hope you know you are not being let out of this apartment without like a whole lot of food. It's too late. You've helped Hugh. He's gonna help you right back.
I love you, Hugh, so much. And like Sammy's just like he's stammering and just like, oh no, why is this happening again? Because you get the distinct impression that someone else had basically sussed him out on the fact that he hadn't really eaten anything.
Well, I know who exactly that is, but Hugh doesn't. Still, Hugh notices this and he's like, Hugh gets a determined look in his eyes and says, okay, so I got mostly savory food right now, but if you're really so certain, how about you help me make some food then, and you can take some of that.
I really don't want to impose it. It's your
It's not imposing if I want. It's not imposing if I want you to help me now, is it? You didn't have to take all those bags off of me, did you? Or take them home. You didn't even let me take any. You took all of them. I think giving you some food in return is only fair.
Sammy raises a finger as if to say something else, and then just kind of lowers the finger.
Like Hugh gets a smug and triumphant look at that. It's like Hugh 1, Sammy 0.
Yep. Sammy's just like, okay, fine, but I really don't need much. Just I don't want to impose.
Voting, trust me on that. And would you? So, which drink would you prefer? And Hugh's like gonna bustle about a bit. He's going to, like I'd say, from the grocery. He has some fruit and such.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, does Sammy like apples?
He will basically eat anything. He doesn't mind an apple.
Okay, well, Hugh pulls out a couple apples, and he goes to making a drink. So, like, Hugh's gonna shoo Sammy towards the table with the bit of fruit and the cup of whatever drink he'd like.
Sammy just kind of shyly mentions that he has not had hot chocolate in a very long time.
Hugh makes hot chocolate then. And Hugh's like gonna pull out some strawberries as well, cause fresh fruit is nice.
Fresh fruit is nice.
So Hugh lays that on the table, and he's gonna go shuffling around one of the book piles in his apartment. You notice that it's in fact the one right outside the kitchen doors, like between the kitchen and the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to roll me perception?
All right, let's see. 16.
Pretty good. Like, you see Hugh struggled just a little bit, but haha, he's found the book, and you realize it's a cookbook.
Sammy kind of nibbles at the apple and is just like, do you need help?
I was thinking maybe I could make some cookies.
Oh, cookies would be nice.
And if you want, you can have some.
Thanks? Sammy's shading turns a light yellow edged with pink.
Oh, can I actually try and roll perception to see, like, whether Hugh has noticed any of this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that is a D20 plus 5, because Hugh's not bad at perception. It's a nat one.
You know
He
what?
doesn't notice anything at all.
Roll it with advantage because Sammy's not hiding us.
All right.
You know what?
Get
Roll one more time. Dice parser's being a jerk.
Dice parser is like, no, he is currently too focused on being a mother hen.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
not much better.
Though honestly, that passes. It's a very low DC. You
Okay,
notice.
that's good.
Like I
That's
said,
good.
Sammy's not hiding this. He's not hiding his colors.
And he's like going to blink, and like there's a moment of silence. It's like a beat passes and goes, "Oh wait, can you change colors?"
Sammy's shading goes sky blue, and it's like he. One sec, let me just see it. Okay.
Also, I'd like you to roll insight on Hugh.
Okay. Insight.
Also, what was that? Oh wow, that's a dirty 20, 23. This is where all the luck went to this 18 and 23.
The previous roll was me trying to see if Sammy would choke on his apple in surprise. Which he did not. He managed to chew and swallow before catching on to the fact that, oh, yeah, I do change color. Ah.
23, you notice that Hugh is actually, he finds this really cool. He hasn't met many color changing tunes. This is really awesome. And you also, and with such a high number, you then note onto the fact that, apparent, like, this is in fact reminding Hugh of someone he knows and someone who he's fond of even.
Aww. Sammy just kind of shuffles in place a little because, yeah, he knows color changing tunes are pretty rare. he knows.
He's actually then going to like turn around and just pull the cookbook back over to the cooking counter because he realized, oh wait, right, I shouldn't stare. That was really rude of me.
Sammy just kind of his shading kind of turns a little more pink, and then he just kind of curiously wanders over to peer over at the cookbook, just kind of like, you mentioned cookies? I've never actually made cookies before.
I honestly, but like this cookbook should be good for like simple recipes. So as long as we follow it, it should turn out all right. I was thinking of making some chocolate chip cookies. What do you think?
I think that would taste good. I haven't really had cookies in a while either.
He's going to like look to the side a bit and Sammy, and like the spark of determination has been struck. He was gonna make these cookies and like give most of them to Sammy, though he hasn't said this out loud.
Sammy just kind of looks back and is just like, huh? Because I'm not gonna roll perception for this. Or insight for this. He's just kind of staring back at you, a little confused.
Sammy, it's like, look out, Sammy. You're getting food and warm vibes in your future. It's happening. There's
Yes.
nothing you can do to stop this.
Yes.
I'm going to say then he's gonna start like he's gonna check out the cookbook a little bit, and he's going to then start shuffling around to get the supplies needed for that.
While you're doing that, I want you to roll insight real quick.
Okay. Please let that be better than earlier. That's an 18. Not too shabby.
as you are shuffling around the kitchen, Hugh, you notice Sammy kind of looking more closely at the sketchbook, and he's kind of like put his finger on the word underneath the words, and is just like slowly like trying to like look at the words, and you assume like it's almost like he's trying to like under his breath mutter the words underneath as he looks at the book.
Like, so as Hugh puts the items needed up on the counter, you like see the big question mark appear above his head, and he's like, "Do you want to read the book? Like, is there any problems with that?"
I can try. And Hugh, you like with that 18, you notice that he's a little hesitant, but he's willing to try. He wants to help.
Hugh is thinking now, like, should I try poking at this? Should I ask if there's a problem? It's like he doesn't have any issues about doing the reading himself. He also doesn't want to be too pushy because, he's kind of already interrogated Sammy a whole lot. He shouldn't push his luck.
Well, Sammy is willing to give reading the book a try. If
Let's
Hugh will let
go.
them.
Hugh is happy to let them. It's cooking time, I guess.
Yep. Okay. Just gonna.
Yeah, I've pulled open the recipe.
Same. I pulled it up too. Okay, so Sammy reads out the first few ingredients. He's just like, 1 cup unsalted butter. It says at room temperature. Do you have any butter that's not cold anymore?
I bought some butter and he pulls out from one of the bags a bar of butter actually. Because hey, he bought that, so that means it is at room temperature. And he puts it on the counter. And I'm also gonna say he's like gonna start looking around for the bowls and the bowls needed, and also just a tray, so that the cookies can go in that.
Yeah, Sammy reads a little bit more on the ingredients, and then is just like, you look up just in time to see his shading go gray, and like he looks up from the book and is just like, Hugh, do you know why we need 2 different kinds of sugar? I didn't know that there were 2 different types of sugar, because the book says brown sugar and granulated sugar. I don't know what the difference is.
Hugh's not gonna take a look at the book himself and go, honestly, I'm not too sure either, but I guess it has to do with the texture. And now Hugh has a question mark above his head, like, huh?
Like
that's a legit question.
they both kind of like tilt their heads at the book I picture, and there's just a cloud of question marks.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that much about cooking myself, but hey, I got the ingredients at least, so I'll go ahead and pull them out.
But
Do you think you could pull out the cup for me too?
oh yeah, sure. Where do you keep your measuring things? I know you need measuring things for
Hugh is
recipes.
yeah, and like Hugh is going to point at one of the top cupboards, and it's like it should be in that one. I been a bit since I checked inside, but should be there.
Okay, we're just gonna roll a perception to see if I don't know if a 6 would let Sammy find the measuring cup.
to say, with that, Sammy finds a measuring cup, but he finds the wrong type of measuring cup.
Oh no!
Sammy brings down the measuring cup, and that's that.
He looks
I'm
so
going to
proud of
say-
himself.
Oh, Sammy. And Hugh doesn't realize which type of measuring cup Sammy brought. Or better yet, Hugh didn't even look that hard at which kind of measuring cup is really needed. So he's like, "Oh, that one, that should be fine. Yeah, thank you, Sammy."
It's the let's say it's the full cup. Like the 1 cup measuring.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he just puts that on on the counter, and then he is like, we need an egg. Also at room temperature, there's another thing at room temperature. I I guess that's probably in your groceries, huh?
Hugh's then gonna go ahead and pick up the eggs. And I'm not gonna roll a dex save to see whether he drops them or not.
Oh no! Oh boy.
I really hope he doesn't drop them. He does have, he did buy 2 cartons, but still. We'll see how badly this goes.
Dice purser, please. Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, nice! And with a 21, nothing bad happens. He picks it up. He opens the carton. He pulls out one of the eggs, and then, he puts this egg carton into the fridge, and he puts the other egg carton into the fridge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we need 1 tisp vanilla extract. What's a tisp?
Hugh then looks over with question marks around him. A tisp?
Yeah, tisp. It says tisp in the book.
And Hugh's gonna come over and just just kind of cling on to Sammy a bit just to hold himself up so he can take a look at the book. And
Sammy just picks Hugh up to help him look.
Aww.
Like, it's on instinct. He doesn't even think about it. He just reaches over, lift.
Hugh gets Hugh's hair starts fluffing up again, just a little bit out of embarrassment. But he doesn't say anything else because this is not the first time this has happened to him. It's been a week since the last time it happened to him. Even. Anyway,
Sammy doesn't notice.
Anyway, Hugh gets to look over and that would be a teaspoon, I believe.
Why is it like that then? Why don't you just write teaspoon instead of tisp? I don't know what a tisp is.
It's a shortening or an acronym. Cause it can be a pain to write the full word all the time, right? Especially if you're doing a list. So, tisp in this case would be teaspoon, and say there is a tablespoon, which is written down with a TBSP.
Tibs.
And he's going to smile at that pronunciation because I know I am.
It's tibus. Sammy just kind of looks stubbornly at the page, and he's just like, he doesn't really get it, but okay.
I'd say, yeah, Sammy bless. Oh my goodness. Anyway, at that, I'd say, Like he's gonna ask Sammy if shyly if he can be let down.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Here you go. And he sets Hugh down.
Thank you. I hope I wasn't too heavy or anything.
Oh, no, you were perfectly fine. I've honestly held heavier people. Not that that's a bad thing.
Can can I roll insight at that?
Sure.
Oh, that's a 4.
Well, you do know that he did not mean any offense by saying that you're very light. Or that you're implying that you could potentially be super heavy.
Like just gonna like take it at face worth and just go like, okay, yeah, thanks. And he's gonna run away to go and pick up some more food items. And
Mm-hmm.
what's next on the list?
Sammy looks at the recipe and is like, 1 1/4 cups plain flour. And then it also wants us to have one tips of corn flour, or you said it was tablespoon?
Then you can just simply pull those out and push them onto the counter too.
And then 1/2 baking soda, and then 1 cup salt, and then 1.5 cups chocolate chips. That's a lot of chocolate chips. And then it says optionally 1 cup lightly toasted chopped pecans? Optional.
Yeah, I think those are a kind of nut. I haven't really seen them myself. I don't have them, so we can skip that last bit. But okay, so salt, chocolate chips, and you said baking soda, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to see what could I roll.
Roll intelligence to see if you picked up Sammy misreading one of the measurements.
Oh boy. Oh, the fun thing about this is like intelligence is Hugh's best stat, but
Yeah, no,
and that is a 24.
You look at Sammy and you basically pick up all of the little subtle clues that Sammy has been accidentally letting slip. This kid doesn't really know how to read that much. You might want to double check the recipe.
It's like a look of, huh? And now roll insight on Hugh.
10.
It's a 10. Okay, well, Sammy, you notice that Hugh has like a thoughtful look. Almost as if he wants to ask something or maybe offer something, but he isn't quite sure how to do that or how to go about it.
Is there something wrong? Did I read it wrong? And Sammy's shading goes from a light yellow to a slight lilac.
And Hugh at that is like going to try and like put his hands up in a gesture of don't worry. Yeah, I think you might have misread it a bit. Do you not have a did you not have a lot of chances to read in your travels?
Roll me insight.
All right. Let's see how badly that goes.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 7.
What I can give you with a 7 is Sammy's shoulders kind of slump, and his hand absentmindedly kind of goes to his wrist. And then he just kind of shakes his head. And he's quiet.
Well, first of all, as the player, eyes emoji, and there's some ghosts I want to punch. But on Hughes, and he looks at this and goes, it's no shame if you didn't get a chance to really do so. I know I was lucky to grow up in a family that had a lot of access to books. And, well, I'd like to think I'm good at reading. Would you like me to help you? I got like a ton of books here. If you want, like, sometime I could try and help you get better at reading.
I had the opportunity, and then I lost it.
I'm sorry to hear that happened to you.
Sammy just kind of quietly shrugs.
He's kind of quiet now himself, and like thinking, is like, what? Is there anything I can do to help with this? Like, and Hugh's going to get another determined glint, and Sammy, if you'd like, would you be willing to learn to read? Or read better?
Well, I wouldn't really be opposed. I've never really... People didn't really like it when people like me would try and go into the library or things. It's kind of hard to practice when you don't even really have an address for a library card. I have a place now, but it wasn't really on the top of my priority list to really learn how. But if you're offering, I wouldn't really say no.
I'd like to think I'm okay at reading, so and he's going to give Sammy a smile at this, and
you're probably better than I am.
It's like, so if you'd like, I could try and help you. I mean, it's no problem to help a friend, you know.
Sammy's shading brightens to a yellow, and he's just like, you would call me a friend?
Like, again, you didn't have to help me out of the pile of bags. That definitely wouldn't have happened back in the past, so it might not have been long, but I can tell you it's really nice. I'd be happy to be friends with you, and it's no problem for me to do this.
Sammy kind of shuffles a little, and then his yellow is so bright, it's not even a shadow anymore, it's just highlighter. It's a highlight, it's not a shadow anymore.
And I'd say Hugh notices this, and he's like, "Yes, I did a good." And Hugh's smiling really brightly back at Sammy as well, cause new friend. I managed to do something good. I'm glad.
Oh, I love you, Hugh, so much. Okay, and like with the intelligence roll that you rolled earlier and catching Sammy before like before we actually measured any of the ingredients out, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that the cookies have been low-key saved. Because Hugh, you're looking now. You're looking.
And I'm going to say then with this change in arrangements, you have you got Hugh sitting at the counter with the book and he's like reading things out. And this time it's Sammy with the bowl and the ingredients. So like this time the cookies will be made properly.
Yes.
For it's like time to do this for realsies this time.
Yes. Just gonna roll.
It's like this requires reading.
Yes. And then I'm rolling I rolled survival to make sure that they did not burn the cookies, and that was a nat 20. The cookies are delicious.
Yes. And so yeah, they're pulled out, and like Hugh has pulled out some plates, so they're just nibbling on cookies a bit now.
Sammy takes a bite of cookie and his eyes go wide, and then like Hugh, roll a perception check.
All right. Dice parser, please don't fail me now. That's a 21.
With a dirty 21, you look up from your cookie and you see kind of familiar, you see a familiar little like aura of like lighting like little sparkles, and like just like whenever a Ghiblian is really enjoying something and just having a really good time, that kind of atmospheric effect is happening around Sammy's head. And Hugh, you realize this kid is Ghiblian.
I'm going to say at that, Hugh then just like, well, Hugh, I'd say Hugh hasn't even tried the cookie yet, but he sees how happy Sammy is, and oh, wait, another Ghiblian? And Hugh gets the starry eyes again, and he's smiling a whole lot as well.
Also, I do want to mention that he has like Sammy's doing the gag of like Hugh will blink and then the cookie will have been nibbled on, so you don't see his face.
Perfect. It's I just thought of a terrible comparison.
Oh no.
Yeah, you remember Kakashi from Naruto? Yeah! And how he has an like Sammy. And on that, I am going to say that Hugh then takes a bite out of the cookie as well. And oh, this like Hugh really loves cookies himself, and now this is something homemade. Something he made with a new friend, and it's so good too.
It just
And now,
all the
Sammy,
good
you get to
vibes.
roll.
All the good
Yes.
vibes.
And Sammy, you roll perception on Hugh as well. That's a 17. Would you say that Sammy realizes Hugh's Ghiblian at that?
Yeah, his shading like goes from like highlighter yellow to sky blue, and he's just like, oh. And his eyes crinkle.
Like he looks back and it just smiles cheerfully. Nothing really needs to be said here. It's like there's an understanding.
Yep. They both see reflections of each other.
And it's adorable.
Yes. And like Sammy's just like, this is my person now. You. Sammy will now die for you.
Oh my goodness, please live for him. Like, please live for him instead. I say that as if he wouldn't die for Sammy now as well. Rip. Oh well.
Just two boys determined to protect their friends.
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, Sammy's gonna have so much stress in his future. Because Hugh will take a hit for him. Hugh also has 22 HP. This can only end well.
Sammy better start leveling up in cleric.
Oh god, yeah, at least someone in this house can heal.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Honestly, I think that's a good place to end it off. It's like these two are enjoying cookies.
Yes.
When Sammy goes back to his own home, Hugh is like going to shove at least half of the cookies over to Sammy.
Sammy will protest, but Hugh is determined and Sammy will eventually just concede.
Hugh is like, that's right, as it should be. You made these too. You better not sell yourself short.
Sammy just kind of shuffles in place a little and then just kind of, there's a little nod.
It's like, and another tally can be added to Hugh's score. Like,
Yes.
fear the little, like fear the younger friend.
Sammy getting mother henned by this tiny little toon.
Yes.
All
And I'd
right.
say that's a good place to end it off then. How about you?
Yeah, I think that's great. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah. See you all later, and this was amazing.
Yes, it was fantastic. I'm gonna end the recording now. Bye!
Bye.